a sailor who finds an abandoned boat in the middle of the sea. When he goes inside, you will be surprised to know what happened to him. In this movie, a sailor goes out fishing on his small boat. He encounters thick fog and darkness, but he keeps going. Soon, he sees a big, empty boat ahead. He ties his boat to the big one and climbs aboard. Inside, everything looks normal. There's fresh food, but the big boat's engine won't start. He looks through binoculars but sees no one. He tries the radio, but no one answers. When he goes back to his small boat, it's gone. He checks the map, but it's no help. Feeling frustrated, he goes back to the engine room and tries to fix it. To his surprise, the engine starts when he touches it. This leaves him puzzled about what's happening and what he should do next. The sailor tries again to contact help but doesn't succeed. Later, he needs to use the bathroom and decides to do so on the deck. As he tries, he feels a strong push and nearly falls overboard. Luckily, he grabs a rope and avoids falling into the sea. Realizing the boat doesn't want him to use the bathroom on deck, he goes inside. However, he finds himself trapped when he tries to leave. Despite trying various methods, including using a scissor, he remains stuck inside the locked bathroom, facing more challenges ahead. The sailor hears a voice from a large ship outside, signaling if anyone is left on board. He realizes the ship is about to leave, so he tries even harder to open the locked door, but it remains shut. He tries to get the ship's attention by waving close from the window, but the captain doesn't see him, and the ship begins to depart. Remembering a rope, he tries to stop the ship with it, but it gets tangled in the propeller. Meanwhile, the other end of the rope is around his neck, choking him. Just as he's about to suffocate, he manages to free himself, narrowly escaping death. The ship crashes into something, causing him serious injuries. When he looks at himself in the mirror, he sees how bad his condition is. He regrets coming on the boat and tries with all his might to open the door, but it feels like something is stopping him, and he can't open it. Now the sailor starts to feel hungry and thirsty. He tries to drink water from a pipe, but it's empty. Then he notices water seeping in from a hole in the boat caused by the collision. Desperate, he starts drinking the water, but he feels uneasy about it. He has a lingering feeling that someone in the boat is trying to keep him trapped. He pleads for release, but the door remains shut. The boat begins to move on its own as night falls, and he remains stuck in the same place, feeling more trapped than ever. Then, a sudden, fierce storm approaches, causing the boat to spin wildly. Water begins to flood the area where he's trapped, leaving him unsure of what to do. He sits quietly, and when the storm subsides, he finds himself stiff and cold. The boat is filled with water up to his shoulders, and he struggles to stand up. He tries once more, hoping the door will open. He goes underwater and sees that the door is open, but he can't pull it because the toilet is flooded. Going underwater again, he kicks the door hard, breaking it open and freeing himself. He's confused by what's happening, feeling like the boat is possessed and moving on its own. He decides he needs to escape. He gathers ropes and airbags and finds the bathroom door below. He constructs a makeshift raft to leave, also gathering food supplies for the journey. Then, he ties his small raft to the larger, moving boat. He sits on the raft, but the larger boat doesn't move. It feels like the boat is keeping him there. After hours of frustration, he accepts that he can't escape with his makeshift raft. He climbs back onto the larger boat and begins fixing it. First, he works on removing the water and fixing the motor to speed up the process. He repairs all the problems one by one and paints over the broken parts to prevent water from seeping in. After completing the repairs, he tries once more to call for help on the radio but receives no response. Feeling exhausted, he goes back to the deck and sits down, trying to determine his location on the map. He tries to start the boat again but is unsuccessful. Just then, he notices a ship approaching from the front. He jumps into the water and paddles his makeshift raft toward the approaching ship. However, the boat that wouldn't start earlier now starts on its own and moves toward him. He paddles faster, but the other boat also speeds up, and they're about to collide. He jumps into the water to save himself, watching the ship move away. Realizing the boat doesn't want him to leave, he spends a long time in the water. Despite the cold and the presence of sharks, he has no choice but to return to the same ship. Feeling cold, he goes below deck and sleeps with a blanket. When he wakes up, he finds the boat moving, but he doesn't know where it's headed. He tries to go up on deck, but the main door is locked again, making him furious. Everything seems to be going wrong since he came aboard. Then he notices the bathroom, which offers a way out. He tries to exit, but the doorway is blocked. Realizing he's completely stuck, the boat starts rocking violently from side to side, causing him injuries. Eventually, the boat slows down, and the door opens from outside. When he steps out, the boat stops near an abandoned city on the shore. He quickly disembarks and rushes into an abandoned dock. There, he picks up a rod, feeling as though someone is secretly controlling the boat and has kidnapped him. After searching thoroughly, he finds no one there. When he returns, he's shocked to see the boat moving by itself, leaving him on the shore, and setting off again on its new hunt. He, then, finds his missing boat, which had disappeared at the start of the movie. How it got there or what's inside remains a mystery, ending the movie in suspense.